And welcome, everybody, here to the X-Bomb Sports Live Show. My name is Andrew Valentin, and I hope you're all having a fantastic Friday. We are coming to you live here from the Illinois Media School here on the O'Hare campus. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all are having, again, I hope you've had a wonderful week. I hope you guys have enjoyed yourself. I know sports-wise, some things have been a little bit unnerving, nerve-wracking, if you will. Grinding of the teeth perhaps has happened if you are an NBA fan, perchance. It's been a rough one or a good one depending on obviously what team you root for. But we've got a lot to cover. Glad to be back. I know we were gone for a couple weeks there. Apologies, but we'll kind of give you guys a little bit of an update on what's going on towards the end here. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, I'm joined by my guy in the back, my co-host, as always, Mr. Scotty Kiefer. Scotty, how you doing, man?
Hi, Andrew. How are you?
I'm hanging in. I'm here. That's the best I got right now. It's just,
Oh, Andrew, we got a winning baseball team on both sides in Chicago right now.
Yeah, well, one is winning. The other one is
they still have a winning record. It's fine.
They do have a winning record. It's just they are sliding massively, and we'll get to that
at some point. We'll mention it.
Yeah, of course, because we're gonna kick this off with baseball. We're gonna talk about the NBA. We'll talk about college football, and then we're gonna talk about FIFA because World Cup is coming up here soon too, folks. And then, of course, it's gonna be Scotty's choice at the end. So, without further ado, Scotty, you ready to get into this, amigo? Boy, that's just riveting, isn't it? Just God. Can't get enough of that. All right, let's do this, folks. So, the first one, I got a bunch of questions from you guys, and first and foremost, were a handful of them that just came recently because obviously MLB talking about the salary cap. They've already proposed it, but before we get into it, you guys were asking us about the current MLB season, and since we're definitely into the thick of it, I thought let's talk about the season. We'll get into the salary cap. We'll kind of discuss it all in kind of this one segment. So, yeah, look, MLB season, Scotty kind of mentioned it, right? Start off here in the hometown teams. You've got two Chicago teams that have winning records, both trending in, dare to say, opposite directions.
Yeah, because the Cubs started just so hot.
Yeah.
And then they started falling off. But also some of it is not even their real fault most of the time. They got just so many injuries. At one point, I think they had 30 pitchers between all their leagues on the IL, between all their leagues.
It's unbelievable. That's oh God.
But the Sox, and they were on the other end. They started really bad.
Yeah.
They looked like, honestly, I was walking into the third week of April. I feel like I'm starting to see this team not really have a direction of what they're doing because they called up 30 players in the span of the first 20 games. It was
very
nuts.
True. Yeah.
But they started getting hot. Guys started hitting. Guys started coming around, and I think there were some players with a chip on their shoulder that they didn't get picked early in the season. So now they get called up, and now they're thinking, we kind of got to prove that we probably should have been, like Antonacci, Schultz, Martin, who was up and down last year. He's got that kind of chip on his shoulder, I think, kind of getting that whole thing from the White Sox. And then again, the whole AL is just awful, so the White Sox are taking advantage of it.
Yeah, it's definitely been a whirlwind, I will say, because obviously, like Scotty said, you have on the Cubs side of things, they start off so hot, and now they've gone through 10 straight losses. 11. It's now at 11. I didn't watch their last game, so okay. So now we're at 11 losses. So it becomes a creeping concern. Now, like Scotty said, obviously not all of it is really on them. Injuries have plagued this team, as has kind of become the case, I think, for a lot of the MLB especially, right? The injury bug has certainly bitten a lot of top-tier players as well as some kind of notable fillers that have always helped out a lot of these teams in the past. And now you're seeing a lot of call-ups coming from the AAA, and even some have had to go to the AA to kind of pick and pull guys out from where they can. So it's unfortunate, but this is still a very good Cubs team. To give them some credit, this team is still standing very strong. Pitching-wise, they still look like they're in an incredible position where they can still be very dominant, because right now in Major League Baseball, pitchers are having like an all-time great season across the board. And even with guys like Matthew Boyd out, you still got Shota Imanaga, who's been pitching very well. Talon, who's been looking good. Colin Rhea has really stepped up for this team in a major way, where he was kind of just like a blown-by, forgotten name. I mean, he's been an important piece now to this team, kind of being there for them when they've really needed somebody to kind of count on, especially with Cabrera going to the IL now, and Ben Brown, who's really kind of come up and is starting to prove himself
Ben
to maybe
Brown,
be.
who Cub fans wanted axed last year,
Yes,
is now like their hero.
absolutely. I mean,
Does that say more about the team or the fan base, though?
Yeah, it's a good question. I attribute, I think, more of that to the fandom in itself, maybe, because, you know, you see the success of this team last year. You want to see the continued growth of this organization. It feels like they made a lot of moves. The problem that they're having right now, though, if they're going to say if anything's going to be, is that bats just keep going quiet at the wrong times. I mean, you have Pete Crow Armstrong, who's really just gone silent. Nico Horner, who's really started to drop off. Alex Bregman finally starting to bring it back, look like his man of old, but I expected a little bit more out of him than what he was. At one point, I think he was hitting into like the 190 range for his average. Like, he was really kind of sinking off towards the bottom end of the barrel. Like, all the guys you expected from last year to step up, Michael Busch and Ian Happ and Swanson, they're all kind of just having this dip period now. And, again, injuries have plagued the team, yes, but it's the guys you would hope you could count on for this team that really have been kind of hurting. Meanwhile, on the White Sox side of things, like you said there, my man, it's unbelievable to think that a team who started off with everyone going, here we go again, with the one bright spot being Murakami, who's just belting them out of the ballpark. He is now at the forefront of this team and leading the charge for what has been a true-to-form renaissance of youth.
Do I know how good he's actually playing?
Please.
The White Sox signed him to a 2-year deal this offseason.
Correct.
As like a, see how you're going, right? Because he wasn't really getting a lot of interest from the MLB, which is really weird.
Yeah.
Like, the Sox were really the only team that were hardcore pushing for him. They gave him a 2-year deal to kind of like prove yourself. The new owner, who's going to come in a couple of years, has already said he's already talking to their team trying to get him extended.
Yeah, I heard
It's
Ishbia.
been 2 months.
Yeah, Ishbia is trying to push
months.
for that. Well, I mean, look at what he's done, and who could blame him, right? I mean, yeah, you look at the batting average. We all look at batting average and go, well, it's kind of down. 20 home runs and 41 RBIs. In 55 games or whatever it's been, 56 games he's played in, he's on the verge of hitting 50 home runs, folks. He right now should be, I would say, in the conversation for MVP. Again, I know you look at the average, but you look at
Not
his
MVP, but he's up there for Rookie of the Year.
Definitely Rookie of the Year for sure.
He's got that locked up.
Even
probably.
still, though, even if you take the batting average out of it, you look at the slash line, right? It's a 389, a 566, and a 947 for on-base slugging and OPS. You're not going to find that in a lot of guys right now. Like, what? It's Aaron Judge and I think Mr. Slammo out there, Schwarber. And I think there's a few others that can make a case for it. Like Cal Raleigh is so far down. All these guys that last year were vying for that MVP. There's an argument to be made that Murakami should maybe be in that discussion. Hell, Colson Montgomery, again, batting average. You look at it, 232. Not bad. Again, the slash line. The home runs are there at 13 with 34 RBIs. Total bases is at 96. And you mention it, Antonucci. You've got Mydroth, who's really taking the steps forward. Benattendi's finding his place. Tristan Peters, who is just like a forgotten name that nobody really even wanted to talk about. He's found a route.
He was playing banana ball, and of course he's on the Chicago White Sox.
It's very true. He was a.
And also the new Japanese guy that they just brought up. He's got speed. And he's got an arm. For right fielder, that's kind of all you need.
And I didn't realize how short he was.
Yeah, but I saw a video of him doing the Stone Cold Steve Austin beer slant and beer bash
in
the locker room, and instantly became a top 50 player in baseball.
I mean, he's his field work is fantastic. And his bat, I mean, again, it's not maybe the strongest one that's going to be out there in the lineup, but you can see that the follow-through, the head of the bat, everything swings through perfectly. Look, this team, whether or not they end the season out with wins at this point, like a winning season, the plus side is you are identifying the pillars and the foundation pieces to say, now we can start building the house. And by the way...
And improving as well.
Yeah.
And improving, because right now they're on pace to make their win total by, I think, 15 games.
Yeah, they've already broken 28 games, which they didn't hit till August last year.
I know.
I not to bring up bad memories, I know, for everybody. But look, on the pitching side, too, right? You've got Davis Martin, like you said, chip on his shoulder. He should be in the Cy Young conversation.
Or at least in an all-star game conversation.
100% the all-star.
I think this is what we need to start talking about more. Not the award side of things.
Sure.
Get them to all-star game
all-star,
first.
well,
I think right now you're looking at Murakami, Martin, and then maybe Colson and Chase as an all-star, but they might get in reserve-wise.
Absolutely. I mean, there's enough on that team to make viable candidates for all-stars, and I know, again, awards are far away, but you're sitting at 8-1 with a 2.0 ERA, a strikeout rate over 9 of almost 10.
I think 11 starts. The White Sox are 10-1 when he starts as well.
Find me better pitchers than him right now. There's only maybe, again, a handful of guys that touch him.
And granted, we're not saying he's like the greatest pitcher in baseball. It's just he's on a hot streak. He got to reward that.
He finds the zone. He's got a decent fastball. His breaking ball is phenomenal right now. He is in his prime at 28, and he's found his niche with a team that's offense is helping to carry the weight when sometimes he's had to struggle, except he's not really struggled that much. He's really, when he's been on, he's been on. Like that one loss, it only comes about because he had a few dip moments and the offense just didn't follow through. And you still have Noah Schultz, who's shown growth. He's not there yet, but all the mechanics say that this guy can be an all-star if you continue to work with him. And they still have to bring up their other pitchers along the way that are all starting to show their own. Hagen Smith looks like a star. This team...
They're just fun.
That's
what I've been putting. That's what I've been putting out. I'm not putting any expectations on them. They're just a fun baseball team to watch.
And if they finish the year out with a winning season, considering where they were last year,
getting close to.
Yes, anything close to that, I would say Venables should be up for Manager of the Year.
Nah, you have to make the playoffs for that.
I would argue against that because you go from a 20, an almost 35, 40 win baseball team last year. I don't even remember how many wins they only had last year. 60. You go from that to where you're at right now and possibly end up being just outside the wild card. You can make the argument that that is a job well done, considering you just came off of some of the worst years, and he's letting these guys play. And that's the thing. His efforts to bring a culture, I know Nick hates that word, but to really bring that energy and that culture to the White Sox of, hey, I'm just going to let these guys play baseball. They know what to do. They know how to swing a bat. They know how to throw a baseball. It's clearly made an effect. So
the other thing is baseball right now is so, I would say there's no real actual dominating team right now.
Even Atlanta
is still losing a lot of games, and they don't look complete. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But even the Dodgers,
the Dodgers are in a rut.
They're in a rut. Kyle Tucker looks lost there. He looks like he hates being there. The Yankees, again, they're just being the Yankees, where they just are.
They're riding on the coattails of one guy.
Some of their top guys going, and then everyone else is kind of doing nothing, and then they'll come up every once in a while. But the AL West is nothing special. The AL Central isn't really nothing special either.
No.
The Phillies are far off a cliff, and the Mets are even worse, but they don't really care right now because they got the Knicks.
And I don't trust Tampa to save my life. I'm sorry.
No,
Kevin Cash and his analytics will screw this up some point in the playoffs. You'll win the division fine. You'll make the playoffs great. He's going to do that one thing where he goes, well, what does the computer say? And, that nerd's going to blow it because he just wants us to listen to what, Computron has to say instead of, going with your baseball gut. I don't like him as a manager.
Here's my question to you, Andrew. Do you like what came out yesterday about the cap?
Yeah, so if you guys don't know, baseball has proposed a cap to the MLB Players Association. If I'm correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe you have the numbers in front of you, Scotty. I believe the cap that is being set right now by Major League Baseball was at $245 million, give or take money or so, with a floor of, I believe it was 171 with some change on the end. 171 too. Okay, so 245, 171 for a cap. Do I like it? And here's the thing. Like, we've talked about the whole thing about baseball. I'm cool with setting a floor because the biggest problem I think that has persisted in baseball more than anything is that there's baseball teams like Tampa, like Oakland / Sacramento, Vegas, whatever. Yeah, please. Pour over them by all means. Yeah. That sounds about right. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of consistency in those names when you think about it. Yeah. God. Gee. Unbelievable. And I mean that's the thing is like looking at those teams now, like you can make the argument like, well, who do you give that money to? And it's like, well, then they got to go shopping. Like this is where you have to spend the money then to go and try and get those players. I understand the whole rebuild thing for sure, but this is where if you've got a star in your midst, pay him early then to try and meet that floor if that's the case.
And then here's the other thing. You're going to get a lot of the high-end teams that are over this cap.
Of course.
They're going to have to trade some guys to these teams. So we're talking about teams like the Dodgers, who buy the $418 million. That's going to be a massive cut.
Yeah.
The Mets, Yankees, Blue Jays, Phillies, Red Sox, Padres, Braves, Tigers, and Cubs.
Yeah. Which, I mean, in a sense, they're all great for baseball because of the competitiveness, of course, that they bring to the table.
Which,
but,
to be fair, the Cubs are like barely over that threshold.
Right,
they're at 245.5.
Right, which
like,
you
okay,
can
cut $200K, dude.
Right, you could easily rework a contract and be
I think
able
they're
to.
also going to still have a luxury tax type of deal, so you're probably going to see some of those teams maybe around the 300 mark.
Yeah,
I don't think it's a hard cap. I think it's going to be like the NBA where it's a soft cap.
where they've got the apron 1, apron 2 kind of thing.
I think so.
Where if you're at this certain apron at a certain point, because I think it's the second apron for the NBA, you're going to have to start paying X amount of dollars, which obviously goes into the hundreds of millions for some of these teams. So everybody's having to rework their cap, and that's why you're seeing a lot of teams now starting to really, and I think this is where you're going to really see the investment into these rookies more than ever, which we were going to talk about the draft. We'll talk about the draft at a later date. That's for a later time because there's a lot going on there for sure.
I think you're going to see some teams maybe try to get that their franchises sold.
Oh,
well.
100%.
Because the old guard of regimes the old regimes are not going to like this. I mean, I'm looking at teams like the Marlins. The Marlins are probably going to want to sell.
Yeah.
I believe they just sold 15% of the franchise for,
correct,
I think, over $1 billion a couple months ago.
Because they need the equity. They need the capital.
The White Sox are obviously getting a new owner.
Yes, he is next in line for when Reinsdorf takes.
I mean, the Rays are getting a new stadium, but I believe they're also on the cusp of maybe trying to sell. Guardians as well. I think that's a team that might be.
They're talking about possibly getting something together to start selling the team. From what I heard,
I've also heard the Brewers as well. I've heard stuff about the Brewers.
Yeah, Brewers are feeling around too to try and see if anybody wants to buy. The only ones that I'm uncertain of are the Athletics, is the A's, because Fisher is so fickle with that team. Because I think that's his only revenue source other than the billions he inherited from family. And I don't know if he wants to let that go. Because he's just getting the Vegas stadium, and I think he's looking at that going cash cow.
No, I think he's going to end up staying.
Yeah, which I don't like because I don't like Fisher. He's bad for baseball.
Yeah.
He is so. But I think the floor is good. It's the cap that I'm a kind of. That's where you're going to lose it because players are going to push back on that because obviously these contracts are like, look at the Mets, right? The Mets paying what they're paying to Juan Soto. How do you justify that contract knowing obviously he's playing very well, but he's like the only one on that team that's justifiably playing well, right? Like all of a sudden now Francisco Lindor now becomes a viable piece that you have to ship out because he's not playing well. As much as you want to keep him and as much as he is like the captain of that team, you now say, well, we got to get under the cap, and his pay is so high that we have to. I don't have his contract numbers in front of me, but I know he's got a huge contract. You have to look at that and say, we're going to have to make a move off of you.
Might see some, like I said, you might see some reunions and stuff like that. Like, these
Absolutely.
teams are going to have to buy some, they're going to have to trade for some of these players. And the markets are going to be crazy. Like, you think that NFL players get traded for nothing. Star NFL players get traded for absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Get ready to see Lindor traded for 2 random minor league pitchers.
I was going to say, get ready for Rafael Devers to go for like a single A arm and like a couple of outfielders that should definitely be backups by the time they hit in like 3 years. Like, it will be.
Trevor Story being traded for like nobody.
That poor guy, man. He tries. He fights, man. I give him credit. He fights, and I love his swing. But man, when is enough? Like your injuries, man. It's so much. But like that's the thing is, it's just I don't mind it to a degree, but this is also coming to on the cusp of. Like, you're making this announcement when you're still in the talks of the CBA, and there's the threat of the lockout, right? And the strike, or whatever it is we want to label it as at this point. It feels like this will put the split between the two sides possibly farther apart, where this could stretch out baseball's timeline to being out the entirety of a full year, right? Because beforehand, before anything like this was announced, we were all kind of going like, okay, we might miss half the season for baseball, but they're going to try to negotiate something because they're going to want their money. They're going to want to make sure that they can continue with the TV rights. They don't want to suspend anything. The players want to make sure they get paid. They want to play baseball. The owners want to be able to fill the ballparks. So there's got to be something there. The moment this got announced, I was seeing people say, I think we're in for a year-long drought from baseball now. Because I don't see where the Players Association is going to look at this and go, oh, yeah, fair deal, no problem. Like, this will cause issues amongst the Players Association where I think there will be some that'll go, yeah, okay, fair enough. But there will be others, because there's guys that are going to say, I can get paid from this now.
I think there's going to have to be, like, some kind of bonus structure.
Oh, yeah, yes. Like, somewhere along the line.
To not affect the cap, but still so that the players aren't going to be losing money like that. Because like you said, I mean, these players are not going to want to go from, a $400 million contract to having to sign something smaller just because teams got to get underneath that cap, and they got to keep the market fair. And it doesn't obviously we're saying, oh, these millionaires are going to be losing money, but it's also they got to keep the market fair for everyone else as well, so everyone else, they can kind of set a standard, and then that's actually going to help baseball, because then you're not going to get like the 2016 NBA free agency class where, Rudy Gay got $50 million.
I mean, to be fair,
he's Bismack Biyombo got 90.
Yeah, I forgot about that part. I forgot about.
I don't want to go out there and see like I don't want to see players like Luis Angel Acuna get like be the Sox first $100 million contract.
Right.
I don't want something like that.
Or Patrick Williams making $80 million.
Blaze Alexander on the Orioles to get like a $75 million contract just because he hit his first home run the other day.
Yeah, no, thank you. No, honestly, no. It brings to light, obviously, for baseball. This becomes now the glaring moment where, okay, the ball has been put into play. Right now, it's just a matter of who strikes first and what's the next comeback, right? Because you feel like, okay, ball's in the Player Association's court. It's been cast that way. So how are they going to respond? Because are they going to come back and say, well, let's negotiate this? Or are they going to emphatically say we are at a standstill, no cap? Because they've been adamant, it seems, with Tony Clark when he was there on we don't want a salary cap. Now that he's been removed from power, obviously, after the whole incident that took place with this whole infidelity thing or whatever it was, who knows. But now with him out, has the mindset changed? Is there now going to be a Players Association kind of vote to say, okay, how do we feel about this as a group? Instead of just one solid voice being like, we've said no cap, we're saying no salary cap. This is where now it gets very interesting. But my internal fear says at the point now where baseball has become very fun this year to watch, not just in Chicago, baseball fun all around for me. it feels like with the momentum they've just grabbed this year, it possibly could get killed because the moment that the Players Association says, foot's down, we're not moving.
We saw how the negotiations were last time.
Yeah.
And it resulted in less baseball.
Exactly.
You might get more this year just for how much change they want to have.
Yeah, and I'll say this. Baseball's done a good job of embracing change, and I think the change we have seen, pitch clock, all of that, ABS, it's been for the better. The game's gotten better. But is this one that's going to necessarily make the game better? That's, from my perspective, I would say sure. It divides the talent out, makes everyone more competitive. Others would say, well, you're feeding in the smaller teams to get these big league players that they may not enjoy themselves, and it might just be like, well, all for naught. They're still going to lose games because the rest of the team still stinks around them. Yeah, fair enough.
And it sucks because the MLB is doing a lot of things right now, and it's, making the product a lot more easier to watch, and it's taking eyes away from other sports like the NBA, and so you don't want that to kill.
Absolutely. And speaking of the NBA, let's move into that because – my goodness. Boy, folks, if you haven't watched the NBA playoffs, it has been rough to watch. Really, really rough to watch.
Lots of blowouts.
Yeah.
Not a lot of really, really close games. It's almost like March Madness, like your close games, and then, like, the final minute, it kind of, like, runs to, like, an 8-point lead.
Yeah. And look, it's not to say that they still haven't had their entertaining value. I think they have. Leading up into this point, it felt like it was very much like Eastern Conference one-sided. Felt like once Boston got knocked out, we kind of felt like who was the next team in. The Western Conference was invigorating through and through. Far in part, of course, for one team, which I can't even label how many emails I got about this whole thing. I can't center out one person because I got so many about this because people were asking about basically OKC, their level of play, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and the art of flopping, if you will. That
unethical hooping.
Yeah, unethical hooping. That's a good way to put it. And it was coined by, I guess I'll mark out this one individual if I can, mark by way of being like a good one. This goes for our guy Rick. And Rick was like, yo, can we just start finding the hell out of people that are flopping, both regular season and playoffs, especially now because of how egregious this is. And here's the thing, Rick. I would love to. That might be the only way to solve it is just hurt their pocketbooks. But according to Adam Silver's latest comments, he doesn't see it as a problem.
So, and you want to hear something else?
Yeah.
It's actually in the CBA that they could fine for all this flopping.
They could.
Do you know what the amount is?
I'm not sure of the exact amount.
Would you like to guess?
I'm going to say it's roughly in the 5 figures.
5 figures? No.
Yeah, no? Higher or lower?
It's $2,000.
It's $2,000.
It's $2,000. It's a $2,000 fine.
So it's chump change for these guys.
It's back pocket.
God. Was this do you have the information if that was set up?
I can find.
Oh yeah, it's fine if that was set up.
It's in the latest CBA.
In the latest CBA. Okay, so that was Adam Silver then.
Yep.
Who? Wow. Okay. I mean, listen. I guess at the time you were saying
NBA enforces 2 types of flopping penalties: an in-game tech and a post-game monetary fines. In-game flops result in unsportsmanlike conduct techs and 1 free throw for the opposing team, while post-game fines trigger starting at $2,000.
So the Spurs basically should have won this series already, is what I'm being told.
And here's the other thing. Here's the other thing. Your first offense is a warning, and then it goes up. Your 5th offense is a $5,000 fine. Okay,
so SGA by now should have racked up like a 6-figure debt. He should be on
a million a flop.
Oh, by the end of regular season to playoffs, he should have had like a good 10th of his contract by now, possibly in debt on that. Like this, and look, he's at the forefront of this. He's not the only one doing it.
He is the forefront of this, though.
Yes, he is the figurehead that carries this. I mean, there's no listen, that AI picture says it all right there. I even tried to get a trophy made that said Flopper of the Year with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. It's expensive though if you want to get it engraved. I'm just letting people know. But I thought it would have been good for comedic effect. And look, they lost game They lost game 6 here. Seemed like the refs maybe swallowed the whistles a little bit on this one and let these guys play because SGA only had like 3 free throws the whole game. He only had like 15 points all game long.
He had 15 points. The game before, he had a 30 bomb with 16 free throws.
Exactly.
He made 6 actual field goals.
So either Adam Silver or the refs or somebody made a call here to, I guess, make sure that they allowed them to play to get to a Game 7. I don't know. I'm not going to speculate. I'm not going to play the conspiracy theory like this is rigged. But if I ever came so close to saying that something felt rigged, like after watching Game 5, I came pretty close to going, I'm kind of almost on the side here because I'm watching Jared McCann throw an elbow in Dylan Harper's face/throat, and then Dylan Harper seemingly retaliate in almost a way, and then get called for the foul and going, how is any of this fair? And that's the frustrating point, right? Because I'm watching one team where one guy is clearly blatantly at the forefront of this, and the rest of the team is kind of following suit, while the other team is seemingly playing basketball, and the big man in the middle, the marquee player that everybody wants to see really more than anything, unfortunately, they are just the team that people want to watch with Victor Wembanyama. He's getting the crap beat out of him by Isaiah Harrenstein and Chet Holmgren, basically hanging on his shoulders and trying to stop him. They're stomping on his foot. They're doing everything they can, and he's still having great games. But it just feels like, yeah, it's a little one-sided, is it not, where one guy's getting a lot of the calls. I get he's the reigning MVP, the 2-time back-to-back reigning MVP, with a current reigning champion in his team. But shouldn't it be also that you're trying to protect the guy that is pretty clear above and away right now, the face of your league, the guy that's really been a selling point for this whole playoff thing between Minnesota and now OKC? I just feel like where's the love being lost for the Spurs, and where's it being won for OKC? That's where I'm losing this kind of. Tell me, Scotty, like, am I crazy to question that, or am I missing something here that I'm not seeing that maybe you're seeing? I don't even know.
Honestly,
pulling my hair out almost to this.
It makes it almost unwatchable.
It does,
and I mean,
it's painful.
It's just painful to watch. Like, I honestly, I haven't watched a single basketball game all year, like, at all, just because and again, we're saying SGA is like the spearhead and the figure of this whole thing, but it's a whole thing across the NBA as well.
Yeah. It's not just him, but he's at the top.
We talk about it on here. We talk about how leagues are doing other great things that are improving the league. And the fact that the NBA is kind of just looking around a side of this, on that side of things, and they want to say that this isn't a problem. That's where it's starting to go downhill for me.
Yeah.
And then they come out with this thing for anti-tanking, and it's like,
which we were asked that question. I was going to discuss it.
It's just stupid. That's all you need to know.
I was going to say,
stupid.
The Grizzlies, I think, made the right call by being like, we're not going to vote for this. Now, obviously, yeah, it affects them because then next year, if they are bad, they're not going to get a top pick. I get that.
We see how that sucks in baseball. The White Sox are the worst team in baseball, and they don't even get the first overall pick.
Yeah.
They can't even get a top 3 pick. They got to pick 10th.
Yeah, exactly.
And they were literally the worst team in baseball history.
Yeah, exactly. Which is just, I mean, blows my mind. But here's the thing, like the tanking whole thing, I'll just address this right now. These rules are idiotic because it's now completely tearing down the system of worse teams can get better. And you're basically now making it that, hey, if you're trying a little bit, but if you're still not good enough, you have a great chance of getting a team. You just got to show us you're putting forth the effort. Like, no, I'm sorry, you can't fix tanking. Like, I'm sorry. At this point now, I've come to the conclusion that I don't think there is a way to fix tanking. You just got to let bad teams be bad. And if they decide to choose to be bad, then fine, let them be bad.
We can't go back in time and make relegation. That would solve everything.
That would be great. That would be great. And that's obviously college football might go that route, maybe if they want to discuss that. But again, that'll come up here in a little bit. But for the NBA's sake of things, tanking is not even that big of an issue, to be quite honest. At this point, it's something that you should just kind of embrace and say, oh, well, what we do? The Wizards are always a bad organization. They're always going to be bad. There's going to be teams that unfortunately just kind of suck sometimes, and we have to just deal with the fact that they're going to get top picks. They're going to have the opportunity to pick in the top of the draft sometimes, and it may result in the fact that they get some top 4 picks year in and year out. Hopefully they do better, or hopefully they don't pick Anthony Bennett number 1 overall. Just saying. But for the sake of flopping, you can solve this, up the fine, up the ante, suspend these guys for God's sakes.
How about this? Actually call it.
Yeah.
They don't even find these players. Even in 2000, they don't even do it because they know it's not worth it.
I mean, you want to break this whole cycle of people not watching your games, which obviously they don't seem to care about because, again, they got their TV money, so what do they care? But at the same time, you're trying to put more eyeballs on your sport. You're trying to get the young fan interested, the new fan interested, and you're trying to, at the same time, too, show that there's a fairness in this game. Well, then promote that. Actually show that. Give calls fairly to all the teams. Hey, when Mitch Johnson's trying to make a call for a challenge, actually acknowledge the guy instead of having the ref run right past him. Like, that's the thing. We shouldn't know refs and umpires' names. We shouldn't know their names. And when we do, there's a problem. The fact that we know Angel Hernandez's name like it's a part of baseball's history to a T is ridiculous. We shouldn't know Joe West. We shouldn't know any of these guys.
We shouldn't know Scott Foster, the extender.
We shouldn't know Scott Foster at all. We shouldn't know any of these guys. The only one we should know is Tim Donahue because he's got the crazy-ass story of cheating in basketball, of calling games the way that he wanted to call them so he could win bets. He's the only one we should know because of his story. Other guys we should not know about because of bad calls. Who's Tony Brothers? Well, we know who he is now, because of how ridiculous it's gotten with this whole system he's got in place, apparently, where he's on the sidelines joking with Lou Dort about what's going on with his shot or whatever. I don't even know what that was. But it's like, again, I don't want to sit here and say the NBA is rigged. But this is about the Game 5 came about as close as I was to going, man, you're almost giving them the game. It's pretty clear these guys, like, I'm hearing the announcers go, where's the foul? And they're going, I didn't see one. Like, you got the announcers now, so monotone voice going like, yeah, I didn't see a foul. Like, they're tired of it too. They're tired of it too. Like, Mike Breen can't make a call of going bang when he's going, and the foul. It doesn't work. And that's why, like, look, even if OKC wins, and this is what, I know my brain's all over the place on this. I apologize. What sucks is, because I was just telling Scotty, SGA has one of those great stories of being the guy at Kentucky who was thought of as just a part of the rotation. He built himself into the best player on that team. Then he was supposed to be just a middle-of-the-road guy that comes off the bench, that gets drafted in the first round by the Clippers. The Canadian kid made good, right? And then he becomes a star in OKC, and we loved him at the beginning. And what even sucks more is that I think James Harden's sitting by going, he's taken my career. Because he's doing the same thing that James Harden did, but he won a title with it. And he won an MVP just like James Harden did. Like, he's capped it off with the best season you can have in the NBA. He did it. But what sucks is that is now his game, and he's embraced it. And to some degree, I can't even hate him for it because you're bending the rules the way that you want to, right? You're taking the rules that are put in front of you and saying, well, if these are the rules that are given to me, I'm going to run with them. So in some regard, it's a small one, mind you, I kind of have to almost give him props. But it doesn't mean that I agree with them, and it doesn't make the game good. It makes it worse. It makes it, like you said, Scotty, unwatchable.
Yeah.
I'm still watching because I want to see this. I want to see the Spurs. I want to see this series. I want to see Wembanyama take it to
the stuff
him.
he does is nuts. So
Absolutely.
Like, yeah, I want to see that, but like,
and Dylan Harper, and I want to see Stephen Castle. I want to see that team, and even OKC to some degree. I want to see them do battle. I want to see them do battle with it. But man, when I see the flops, when we see the fact that they are just trying everything they can to look like it's like they've been given the script from WWE on, like, here's how the match is going to go, it really makes it painful.
Yo, and
that's not an insult on WWE and wrestling, by the way.
No.
I want to make that clear. That's an insult on OKC, and that they would be workers and not the superstars in WWE. Make that a fact. SGA would totally be working for Cody Rhodes and CM Punk. You're not winning a title, buddy. Make that clear. Sorry, please.
We should just continue just tearing down sports organizations.
Yeah, let's do it.
You want to hit the NCAA now?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's keep this anger going. College football had a vote last month, I think it was, right?
Yeah,
if I'm not
I
mistaken.
think
Last
so.
month, they voted all of the conferences talking about, 2014 playoff. I can't believe that had to be a discussion after we just got to 12 teams. But here we are, and the vote went through, and no go. And it felt like the whole sports world, especially the college football world, just went, oh, thank God. Oh, thank God that did not go through. And now the discussion begins on, well, who killed the vote? Who's responsible? Why would you not want 24? And it's like, why do you want 24?
Yeah, like this is the thing. When we started with the playoff,
Yeah.
we knew 4 wasn't enough.
No, it
And
felt
then
like
now
a
we're
small.
sitting there like, okay, 12 is a little too much.
Yeah. Which is
All
why
right, so-
I was a buyer for 8 because
I was
8,
a buyer for 8 as
eight,
well.
8 is
made
the
a lot
usual.
more sense.
Yeah, 8 is the usual bracket we see for every playoff system, all the way back to Pop Warner, to Pee Wee.
And then even some people are like, 16. No, don't do that.
No.
Like, I just don't. It's got to come down to a money thing at this point now.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not even a point, and it's an ego thing of these schools as well. I don't. There's schools out there that don't like the fact that they can't be in these games and
Sure.
stuff. And look, I mean, we don't have to talk about this one for a long time because we've come on here and said how much we don't like that bowl games are going away.
Yep.
And the playoff is stupid, but I think this is kind of a win just for college football to not be able to expand to this because it's kind of not ruining it because you can't ruin college football. College football is way too good.
Yeah.
It's so much fun to watch. The problem is at the end of the day, they're all student athletes, and then you make them play a 2014 playoff, and they're taking time away from living out college and
Yeah.
stuff, and that's becoming more a priority for them is going for football and going for basketball. They're moving to what? It was 76 now in March Madness.
Yes, they're expanding the NCAA tournament even farther now, which, I mean, look, okay, fine. Like, I didn't see a problem with staying at 68, but you want to extend it further, fine. But this is where you keep adding more mouths into the tournament and to now the playoff to feed. At what point do we stop? And at what point do we start to change the quality of what a championship caliber team looks like? Because, look, if you're going to put the whole top 25 now in the playoff, if that almost is the direction they seem to be kind of going in at this point, like, what then do we define as being a championship team? Because we're now doing exactly the problem that I have with the 12 team, which is we're sticking teams in there that I'm sorry to say, but a Boise State, even with Ashton Genty, as much as you go, he's a marquee player you want in the playoff. Yeah, but we know what's going to happen to Boise State. We know what's going to happen to SMU. We know what's going to happen to these teams when they march up against an Oregon or an Ohio State or at this point in Indiana, right?
I mean, we knew what FSU without Jordan Travis was going to be, and they didn't put them in the 4 team.
Exactly.
Why are we putting Tulane in and making Tulane look like this grade A team when they're not?
And I think it was, I forget which coach it was that said it might have been Kirby Smart, but I believe it was one of the SEC coaches who said, look, man, you're going to have a lot of coaches who all of a sudden are vying for the chance to be in the 24-team playoff system so that they can keep their jobs more than anything. And you have to say that obviously that would be a thing, right? Now you can slap that on your resume. Hey, we went 8-4, but we made the college football playoff. We went 9-3, but we made the playoff where, I mean, on most SEC teams, if you go 9-3, you're getting fired. Like
You're on the hot seat. You're on the hot seat.
Yeah,
for
you're on the
next
hot
year.
seat. Like, I mean, if you're Kalen DeBoer and you end up going 9-3 and you don't make the college football playoff, already, like in his second year. We're talking about, is he going to get fired? And we're going, did he not just sign a 5-year deal? It just, I get that for teams like the SEC and the Big Ten, and for the ACC and the Big 12, the Power Four, right? You're putting more seats at the table for team, like especially the Big 12 and the ACC. I get it. You got more seats at the table because the Big 10 and the SEC take up a lot of spaces in there. I understand. You're frustrated with that factor. Here's the problem, though. Your teams, unfortunately, have to do better at recruiting. They're going to have to show that they're better programs. They're going to have to try to do better in the portal. If you want to see other teams outside of Miami in there, then find a way to get Clemson in there. Find a way to get Virginia Tech in there. Find a way to make the path easier for those schools to be in the playoff. If you're in the Big 12 and you're going, why can't we do more than just Texas Tech? Well, then figure out how to make Baylor and TCU better. I mean, yes, these conferences shouldn't necessarily be hand-holding these teams, but they can do something to help support their programs in their conferences if that's the big push that you're looking for. Adding more seats to the table is not necessarily going to make them better. It's going to expose them more to the fact that even if Baylor goes 9-3, like let's say that DJ Elagway has this great year and Baylor goes 9-3, 10-2, make the playoff, and a 2014 playoff system, great. Who are they going to end up playing probably? Where are they going to end up being ranked? Like, they're probably going to end up playing a team that more than likely is going to have better athletes than they are because Baylor just doesn't get top athletes. They get the kind of bottom rung of Texas, which, by the way, are still top athletes. But let's say they went up against Texas. Texas is killing them. I'm sorry, like, it's going to happen. Like, the whole Texas Tech thing where we've got Joey McGuire, the head coach of Texas Tech, like, we'll play Texas week 1. You don't have a quarterback. You don't have a quarterback. What are you talking about? You're going to play him week 1. You got the guy, Cody Campbell, going like, yeah, we'll do the buyout for them. Why? So you get smashed by 40 points? You don't have a quarterback.
Yo, by the way, Brendan Sorsby, like, dude, one of us betting on ping pong and stuff like that. Shout out, bro.
I mean, I hope he got the help he needed. But, dude, you maybe take the phone away. Like, go walk in nature or something. Like, I mean, seriously, like, dude, stay away from technology for like a good half a year, maybe.
Yo,
like, I
Brendan,
don't know what to
there's
tell you.
this thing called Korean baseball.
Stop putting things in his head. God forbid he listens to this and he goes, or Taiwanese chariot racing, whatever it is.
Yo, Brendan, Indonesian football, first division.
I can't believe that. That's insane. But like, that's the thing, is that you're gonna have. Again, I don't want to spend too much more time on this. I'm just saying 24 is too much. 12 feels still like it's almost too much. I hate the bye week thing. I think everybody should just play their week out. Like, it should be 1 through 8. Everybody plays their teams. We get it right down to the final 2. They play for the national championship. Why can't it be that way? If it ends up being 1 and 2, great. If it ends up being 1 and 3, fine. If somehow 5 and 6 slip in there, cool. If number 8 gets in there, fantastic. But then I think you're still getting the top of the crop teams in there. Combine them with an opportunity to still see great football being played and a matchup that will be there for the ages. You're just doing what everyone's done for, I don't know, the last 50 to almost 100 years. 8-team, the bracket for 8 teams has always been the way to go. I'm fine with 12. I just hate the whole bye week thing, and I hate that the national championship is like, what, 2 weeks away? Like almost a month away we're almost going, and these guys have not played football? Like, come on. Yeah. We can see the effects of some of these teams that say, well, we got the bye week. Yeah, but you're taking a week off. You might be rested, but are you really practicing that hard?
And then they go and lose, and it's like,
yeah, you lose momentum. Come on. College football, we can do so much better. There's no need for 24. The sad thing is, I think we're going to get to 24 eventually down the line because, like you said, Scotty, money. But I'm hopeful that a newer generation of ADs can come into hand and a newer power of younger guys can get into the college football playoff and hopefully hold this off for as long as possible. But we'll find out. We'll find out. All right, Scotty, let's get to the fun stuff.
Yeah. You know what? I'm really excited for this, Andrew.
I am
I'm
too.
really excited for the World Cup.
2026 World Cup, folks. We are a couple weeks away from the start.
Actually, I think we're 14 days away from.
Are we 14 days away? Oh, so we are literally two weeks away then from World Cup starting off. And I think
it might be actually less than. I think now we're at like 12 or 13, to be honest.
Okay, so we're less than 2 weeks away. Good. The closer we are, the better, because I love World Cup football. Soccer, for those of you that are
fun.
American. It is fun. It's fun.
And this is the first year with a lot more teams as well, and so I mean, I got some questions for you.
Of course.
For what are some thoughts? My first
shout out, by the way, to our guy Ryan, who asked this question too. Appreciate it, Ryan. Thank you for the question.
Are there any teams you're kind of excited to see? That maybe you wouldn't be able to see a lot. Like, I'm looking at some of these teams. Like, I kind of want to see, what, like, Bosnia comes out with. Like, they never go to a World Cup.
No, it's been a hot minute.
I'm gonna go see Scotland in the World Cup. I'm gonna go be with my Tartan Army. Like, we haven't been in the World Cup since '94. I want to see what that's like.
That's a tough bracket too.
I want to go see what that's like.
Yeah, group
I want to go see what Norway's gonna do with Odegaard and Holland up there. I want to see if they can maybe make a little run there.
Yeah, they could. I mean, for me, I look at teams like Paraguay because I think Paraguay always has those players that you never hear of, but they're always sneaky good because they're just hidden away. They're a country that they develop some really good talent down there, but you never hear of their players because it's a small country, and it's just you think Argentina and Brazil and all that stuff. Obviously, I want to see the big ones. Ivory Coast, I'm really interested in. Curacao too. Curacao's coming along. They've got some guys out there who are really starting, technical-wise, defensively, they're getting stronger. I'm really excited for Egypt and Iran. There's intrigue in those two teams, obviously. Away from the political side of things, it's more so because Iran's got some really sneaky good talent, and Egypt, obviously, Salah's not done yet, but it feels like
Salah hadn't had a great year, but I think a lot of that is more so just tactic-wise.
Yeah, and I think he's itching for, because of the whole he's exiting Liverpool now. This is kind of like he puts on a show for Egypt and shows off. You kind of wonder what clubs are going to start vying for him. I mean, they already are, but you put on a show at the World Cup, teams really start to go, all right, how much you want? What's the number? We'll pay it.
Which team do you think's got a lot to prove?
Oh boy.
I got one for you. I think Morocco's one.
Yeah.
I think Morocco went on a really miracle run in the last World Cup.
Yeah.
And I think they have to show that that was not a fluke.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, there's a lot of stars that were on that team and even on the AFCON team that they aren't returning.
No, which was weird because I thought that group was solid.
And Nesiri and Hakim Ziyech are just not going to be there, and they were stars in the last World Cup for him. So just to try to see if they can prove that they belong in there. I think Mexico's a team also. They got in because they're a host nation, but
they're hungry.
This is one of the down spells in Mexico's squad in the last couple years. So to kind of prove that they actually do belong there, I feel like they got a big chip on their shoulder. And I know this one's going to be pretty easy, but England, because the England team they picked was awful.
God,
they left a lot of guys at home.
I was going to say, I saw the roster come out, and the amount of comments I saw, we're talking within, the first 30 minutes, they had over 2,000 comments from people, all over the world, mind you, going, what is this squad? There were so much better. You're leaving off some of the top tier talent. What's wrong with? They are once again riding behind the gun, and if they don't go out and just, because I'm looking at their group, Ghana's not going to make it easy. Croatia's definitely going to make it a fight. Even Panama, I'm not even going to say is going to be. They lose a game in that group. Oh, it's going to be hell to pay.
I mean, they just left a lot of guys at home. I mean, they left their captain at home.
I couldn't believe that.
They left their guy that everyone thought was going to be the captain at home.
What is wrong with you? Come on. I'll put Colombia in here, too. I think Colombia needs to have a good showing on this. I know they're in the group with Portugal, but I think considering that, obviously, they haven't really been relevant since the days of Jaime Rodriguez, but I feel like you're in this position. You need to show that you can be one of those world powers out there. Uzbekistan, Congo, you should be able to fight with. Even Portugal, I think you could still be able to fight with, even though it's Ronaldo. I love my boy. I'm also going to throw Brazil in there too.
I was actually gonna ask you,
Because
is there any team you're expecting to be a disappointment?
That's the thing. Is like
Brazil's one of those teams for me.
They're so skilled. Like you look at every position's got a guy, right? Every position on that field has a guy. Their substitutes have guys. But I'm going, yeah, but every year they get so close and they fall just short. And I saw somebody throw in, I'm not going to say who it was, but somebody threw in one and is like, no Neymar? And I'm like, I don't even think he was really even a factor for the
Neymar got
team.
in.
Oh, he did get in?
He did get.
I know
he
he's
also
out.
just got injured.
Yeah, he got injured.
He'll be out for maybe the first game, they said.
But I don't even think he's that big of a factor to the team anymore.
It's not, but it's Neymar in the World Cup.
I know. He's
nostalgia is gonna hit there.
I hate that so much. Brazil's just one. I'm so, God, I don't even know. And obviously, I know they're a host nation. I know they're the hometown team for a lot of people. It's Team USA. I like the squad they put together. I don't necessarily like any of the goalkeepers because I don't think there's one guy that stands out amongst them.
No, even that young kid for the Fire, like I don't even really expect him to start.
No, was Horvath not
like that? No, he's not.
He's not available for them.
Nah.
It's just he was the definition of like you want an imposing figure that can stop some shots. That's a dude who's also got international experience. By the way,
it's going to be Matt Turner, and Matt Turner's got the experience, but Matt Turner's just not.
He's not a consistently.
Keeper.
His sideline to sideline movement is just not there. His vertical's not very great.
I will say this about the U.S. That defense might be the best defense they've had in like years.
That might be one of their better forward looking groups too. I mean,
yeah, especially at the striker position.
Pulisic's finally got some help out there. Thank God. I made a comment forthwith, kind of off the cuff, without thinking, that said, because of some of the names that got left off the team, I was kind of like, man, if they could really kind of mess this up, because it feels like there were some guys that could have been on this squad that just, I don't know if like the group could still be a struggle. And it's mostly from Turkey and Paraguay itself. Like those two could easily kind of come through and kind of give them a scare. Even Australia too. Australia's got those blokes down there can fight. Like they come at you hard and heavy. But because I had some guys were asking like, where do you see USA's World Cup ending?
Round of 16. I think they can get through the group.
Yeah.
And then the round of 16.
I just look because I get what you guys were asking, because a lot of you guys were asking, can Team USA ever win a World Cup?
I will be honest, though. I feel like this team actually might get it. They might have. This might be the best chance they'd have, just because, like I said, they got
probably since the 2000s group.
Probably the best defense that they've ever had.
Yeah.
Best forward group they've had in a long time. And not only that, they're going to be home every game.
That's true. You're going to have the home crowd, but
that's all they got going for them.
Yes.
That's not much to go off of.
I'm
not saying, I'm picking the U.S. to win the World Cup.
Right.
But I will say I won't be insanely surprised if they make a run.
This is a more intriguing squad to watch than what happened last year, where I was one, and I will put my hand up and say, I thought Ferreira, I was so sold. I'm like, this is going to be the guy. He's going to be the dude. He's going to be, and he was such a letdown. Such a letdown, because you're looking at him at FC Dallas going, oh, here we go. USA's got their boy Wonder. He's going to do it. And nothing. He was more of a liability than he was like the goal scorer. Like he was but I can't see Team USA. I don't think they're going to match up well against Mexico. I don't know if they'll match up well against Canada. I can't see them beating teams like Germany or England or I think Spain's going to be my favorite to still win this thing.
See, I think them losing Lamar at the beginning is going to be a little because he's hurt. I think that's going to hurt them a little bit.
That's going to take away that little spry of energy that they need for sure.
My top team is still France.
Yeah, they're loaded.
But I think everything is actually lining up for Portugal to win. I was looking.
That would be great.
I mean, to be honest, I was looking at this team, and The only question I have is where are people going to play?
It's fair.
And there's no problem with that because they just have so much talent. They have the best player in the Premier League in Bruno Fernandes.
Yes.
I mean, he is going to be giving service to either Ronaldo or Ramos the whole time.
He'll feed everybody
He'll
and
just
anybody.
feed everyone. And I feel like everything they got a very favorable group.
Yes, they did.
And I think with this being the last run for Ronaldo, that they kind of know it's now or never. There's that kind of chip there.
It will be a personal grudge almost for that squad. Well, I saw that Cancelo.
I'm not taking Argentina. I actually didn't really like their squad that they put out.
Oh yeah,
I didn't really like it.
Listen. It would have been great if Messi could have just held out for one more go, because obviously for them and for Ronaldo and Messi to maybe get one more time to go at it, maybe see if they can match up for a World Cup by chance, it would have been fantastic. But I saw Cancelo said, like, we are trying to do this for our country, but there's one guy that we want to be able to say he's got the trophy in his hands finally, because he's achieved everything else you can do in this sport. What more is there to do? Like, he wants that World Cup, I think, more than anything, because this is kind of it for him. After this, he's what, 45?
41.
41, so he'll be 46 by the next time it comes around, or 45 when it next comes around.
He'll be 45.
And by that point, legs are probably going to be shot. More than anything, he'd be a substitute coming off more than anything, because they've got a loaded roster of young players that are going to start taking over. And I'm excited because I'm looking at guys like João Felix and Gonçalo Ramos, and I'm looking at Rafael Leao, and
man, Leao.
God, they're so good.
They're so good. Leao's just not playing that good though.
No, and that's the thing though, is that he's not playing that good, but he's going to probably be able to turn it up once the tournament starts. Because he's always been like that. I've watched him in Serie A when he was at AC Milan for I don't know how long, and it's always been like, it's just lackadaisical, kind of just, and then all of a sudden it's just take off like a rocket down the side and just shoot one in from like 30 yards out, because he's insane. I think this should be a World Cup where
it's in Chicago. Yeah, I agree. It should be in Chicago. Thanks, Arlington Heights.
Why it's not?
Well, you want to hear something?
Yeah.
I got upset that there's not even a team staying in Chicago. Because they're staying all over the country.
That's right, yeah.
There's not even a team staying in Chicago.
No. Don't they have two in Kansas City right now, but practicing in Kansas City?
Bro, there's a team in Rhode Island.
Is there really?
There's a team in Rhode Island, but not Chicago.
What's in Rhode Island that they can train on? The University of Rhode Island?
Maybe.
That's terrible.
Why can't they practice at U of I?
Why
can't they practice at Northwestern?
What's wrong with Toyota Park? It's still right there.
Yeah,
it's still being
Why can't they go
taken care
practice
of?
at SeatGeek?
Like, come on. Oh, it should have been here in Chicago. Like, it's a melting pot. Come on.
Yeah.
How many? Most of these nations.
You had the Polish, the Irish. I mean,
seriously.
The Mexican. You had a lot of countries in there.
We would have shown up. I mean, listen, you've got my half of my island is never going to make it there, but Puerto Rico. You can play as them, by the way, in the old World Cup games.
True.
Which I don't understand how that's possible, but that would be awesome. But it's never gonna happen. Sorry. This though, I feel like could be one of the most fun World Cups we watch, because
it's all on our time zone. We don't have to wake up early for it.
It's all right there in front of us. It's going to be easily accessible. And it's not just the top teams like we just discussed. There's a lot of these smaller teams that I think have enough star power, be it young guys that are up and coming or ones that you've never heard of, that can emerge on the scene. Listen, who doesn't love the guy from Bolivia who is a truck driver during the day, who plays for his pro team in the afternoon, who then makes the World Cup team and scores 3 goals, right, and gets the hat trick. We love those stories, right? It's fantastic. I'm super excited for this one. I'm putting my money personally on Spain. I think they are the most, and that's just because, yes, they are one of the most star-studded groups out there.
Well, I'm putting my money on Italy. Oh, wait, they're going to be sitting at home. Sorry.
Yeah, that was another thing I got asked too, and it wasn't Frankie that asked me about Italian football and why it's just taking a dip. And I personally think it's just that there's a problem with development right now in Italy from the youth programs.
They can only develop midfielders.
That's the thing, is from whence was the ability to develop great defenders and strikers and even the great midfielder, it's now like defensive midfielders, the occasional central attacker, and then that's it.
Yeah.
Like they don't. You're not gonna find any more of these great star tacticals anymore. No more Rossies or anything like that. It's very bare bones, and from what I heard, a lot of it is coming from the fact that the soccer fields out there seem to be drying up because kids are just not. Soccer is now becoming it's still like a top sport, but basketball is now moving in on soccer. So,
Andrew, I do, if we're done with the World Cup, I kind of got to get into some breaking news here.
Please.
Obviously, Barcelona are going out and spending a lot of money right now. They just spent 80 on Anthony Gordon. They're trying to buy Julian Alvarez from Atletico Madrid, and I think that's going to be like 120.
More than likely.
But Atletico Madrid have officially put in a transfer offer for Lamine Yamal.
Really?
Yeah, this is official from Atletico Madrid.
This is no joke.
This is no joke.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the official Atletico Madrid account.
Okay.
Reading this. They have put in a transfer offer to Barcelona. They have offered 4 tickets to tomorrow's Bad Bunny concert, an annual subscription to ABC, and a bag of sunflower seeds. I'm not joking. I wish I can pull this up. This is official on their Twitter account right now. Please go look at this. This is official on their Twitter account right now.
There's no way.
No, I'm being dead serious. This is what they are. This is what the official Atletico Madrid has put up on there, with a picture of him in a kit.
Wow, this is real. Wow, this is real. I just pulled it up on Wow, this is really out. I got the Spanish version, but I know exactly what it's saying. It's saying exactly, wow, that is fun. That's hilarious.
They're also going for Rafinha. They're also going for Gavi, and they've offered they've run out of tickets for tomorrow's concert, so they're going to give 6 tickets for the one on Sunday. They also want Rafinha, and they said he'll go on loan. In exchange, they're going to loan out Tom Ford and Smith with no option.
God.
An offer impossible to refuse.
Oh, my God. Unbelievable.
And I bring this up, right?
Yeah.
I bring this up because obviously we just had all the schedule releases for the NFL.
Yeah.
Did you have a favorite one that was out there that you watched? I loved the Bears one of Rome Odunze being Bob Ross. I thought that was hilarious given his haircut.
I liked the Chargers one.
Did you like how they kind of made fun of the Ursini and Vrabel situation?
Yeah, I did like that. That was, I mean, you're going to take a dig. Like,
Yeah,
why
right?
not? Like, I mean, we talked about that situation, obviously, how crazy that is. But I like the Chargers one a lot. I thought they all did really good with their schedule releases.
The Jags one was pretty funny. They had
Yeah,
Trevor
that
Lawrence
was a
cut
good
his
one.
hair.
Yes, I mean, I was not expecting that.
Yeah, me neither.
The long locks are his look, and now everyone's like, schoolboy? Like, what happened to you? Like, this is not. It doesn't translate. That's not Trevor Lawrence. That's somebody else. But
I liked the Titans one where they had the guy go out and meet people in Tennessee.
That's right.
And the guys just have like zero. They kind of look like them. And he's like, "Oh my God, Jerry Jones is just some old guy."
Oh my God! Yeah,
My
no,
favorite
it
was, "Oh my God, Myles Garrett." It's like this little kid wearing a Myles Garrett jersey.
I mean, everybody was getting creative with it, and I love that. This is like now how we announce the scheduling and stuff. Until you actually look at the schedule, and then you kind of go like, "Whoa, we got hosed."
Yeah, right. It's like, "Oh, this is funny."
Like, it's fun until you really. That's the thing. I was talking with somebody. He's like, "Yeah, I have fun watching the videos," and then when they finally post like the final post of like the whole schedule, I just go like, what the fuck? Like, all of a sudden, like, you see
Oh my
everybody
God,
being
the
like,
Bears are playing on Thanksgiving and
it's
Christmas.
Like, what do you mean we got to play 3 road games in a row? What the heck? Like, oh my God. By the way, I feel so bad for the Cardinals, man. Not favored in a single game. You got to get
Jacoby Brissett's their quarterback, dude.
so you got to pay him $250 million a year, or excuse me, for the season, or whatever he's looking for. Come on, seriously, dude. Like, respect for where you've been in your career, but dude, you're not getting 250. Like, awareness is key for sure. I know it's your segment, but I wanted to ask you.
Good.
the fight card for the White House.
Oh, I'm so excited.
You're excited for it?
I can't wait.
Okay.
I think that, like, I'm happy because I thought I was gonna be in Boston for the World Cup, and I thought it was the same day, and then I learned that it's actually on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm like, I know I'm gonna be home, and I'm gonna enjoy that so much. Like, I think it's something that you're never gonna see it again. And
Not these matchups.
Aside from the politics of it, it's more the stage of it. You're never gonna see that again.
Yeah.
And then just the matchups are great, and they had to add another fight on there just because people wanted to see it, and I mean I just think it's gonna be great. I don't even really like. Of course, I'm gonna have who I want to win. I don't even care who wins because like if Gaethje wins, like I love Ilya. I want to try his protein yogurt that came out, by the way.
Protein yogurt?
Yeah, if you look it up in Spain, they're selling like a 50-gram protein yogurt, and it's just got Tapuria's face on it.
It's okay. May have to try that. Maybe.
But like,
I don't know.
I want like if Gaethje wins, he's the American. Like that's gonna be so much better as well.
Right.
As long as Cyril Gane doesn't win, it's fine.
You don't like him at all.
Well, yeah, he poked my boy in the face.
It's fair. Well, where do you think he learned it from? I mean,
from trying to steal French baguette.
Is that where you're going with it?
Yeah.
That's fair. No, because people were asking us about this card because obviously we talked about it a little bit beforehand.
I mean, we'll probably have a show before that, and we'll probably really deep dive
for sure.
into
We'll break it down for sure. This card though, I think back when we were first talking about it, I was a little uncertain about it, but I like the matchups.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not the most advanced UFC fighter. I like watching it though. These are all matchups that if you were telling me, sell me like a dream card.
Yeah.
Most of these kind of chime up. You're giving me, I think, the fun with Derek Lewis. You're giving me the star champions fighting each other at the very top as the main event. You're giving me a good co-main event to kind of lead into it. Like everything that kind of follows from the very top of like the main event downwards all to the beginning all feels like, yeah, I think this is going to be fun and enjoyable. I just hope that every fight does live up to the hype of what people might be trying to make it. And that's the thing. I think we have to go in with like not low expectations, but expectations where it's like, okay, we're all expecting it to be like the best card we've ever seen. Yeah. And it's like, well, let's try and make sure.
I'm not gonna lie. On paper, it is probably the best card I've ever seen.
Absolutely.
On paper,
that's
it's probably the
though,
best card.
On paper, once the fight starts, we
Different
can't
story.
be disappointed where it's like, wait, it only went 14 seconds, like a certain Netflix one that.
And then I don't know if you got any emails about it, but man, Conor McGregor's coming back, man. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for that.
I know you love him. I know.
He was my favorite growing up.
I'm more than happy to watch him come back, but I feel like I don't know who he's going to be fighting.
He's fighting Holloway.
Is it Holloway? Oh, that's right. He is following. If he loses to Max Holloway, I feel like this kind of has to be.
Yeah, obviously.
This kind of has to be like my last payday. I'm going to ride off into the sunset.
But he said that if he wins, he wants to go on another run.
Can he though? Like, I know he's in great shape still. Don't get it twisted. And he's Conor McGregor. But
and
even if you
drugs.
Yeah, even if you beat Max Holloway, like, well, how are you beating him? Is he going to beat him to a pulp, or is this or is it going to a decision? Like that's.
I'm just so happy he's back.
I know.
I'm just so happy he's back because I mean, like, I thought he left out wrong, and he took time off to go do boxing, so it kind of messed with his prime age of fighting. He went and did boxing.
I gotta knock a guy for getting a paycheck, though, by any means.
No, like, completely fair. But, like, I thought I'd never get to see him fight again. So the fact that I am, like, I'm really excited about that.
No, yeah. I mean, listen, however this last one goes, I mean, even against Max Holloway, like, that's still a pretty solid, like, that's still a solid thing. Like, Max Holloway is a guy, I met him a couple times. Cool
Max.
dude.
Yeah,
very good fighter, I think, for sure. Don't fight Nate Diaz.
Yeah, let's not.
Because he wants to kill you. I mean, did you not see the Netflix thing? Like, that's the one fight I watched on that thing. he will.
Which, by the way, just awful. Just awful, okay? Just awful.
Thank
you.
you.
Got Francis Ngannou going out there and smoking a can in the second round when he should have fought him in the first and should have knocked him out with one punch in the first minute.
Oh, he was toying with his meat.
He was toying with him the whole time. And then he tries to call out John Jones, and I swear to God, I hate this man so much. John Jones on commentary goes, "Nah, I'm with the UFC now. I got to work on that." And then they keep asking him a question, and he goes, "Man, I'm retired." And I'm like, "I think he is. I'm retired." Like, bro, just leave. No one cares. And then Ronda Rousey goes out there, and I swear to God, like, I'm not saying I want fake fights in MMA. That's not what I want. But Gina goes out there, which, by the way, hello. Twitter is here. She goes out there. She hasn't fought in like 12 years.
And 17
Ronda,
or something like that.
And Ronda just takes her down. She doesn't even let her get a fight, like get a punch in.
No, not even close.
I felt so bad for her, and she's up there like, I felt like I just didn't do enough. I'm like, it's not really your fault. It's Ronda just needing an ego boost. Oh my God, she submitted her in 16 seconds.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, and like I heard that I guess Gina Carano dropped almost like 100 pounds.
Yeah, she did.
To like get to this point, like that's an insane amount of weight to lose in that amount of time.
Didn't even get to throw a punch.
No, and I mean, yeah, like you said, hello, but like, you know, this totally felt like it was one-sided because Ronda Rousey's not far removed from being in combat sports.
I'm not saying I want a fake MMA fight, but like, can we at least get like a gentlewoman's agreement? Like,
can we get a padding?
First minute.
First round,
no takedowns.
First round,
no,
punches.
Just first minute.
Yeah.
First minute, no takedowns. Just let's kind of fight it out a little
Striking
bit.
only. By the second round,
right?
Okay, now you want to go for takedowns. Now let's talk.
And it didn't seem like they hated each other before. Like,
no.
Obviously, Ronda had a lot of praise for her, and Gina also did as well. I mean, it's Ronda's hero.
Yeah.
So I was like, can we not just get like an agreement where like, hey, first minute, no nothing.
Yeah.
Just to get them going, like. Because it's more about the story,
right?
Rather than who's actually going to win.
You've built this up as being like the big event on Netflix that you can watch because everybody's got Netflix, and it's like, okay, cool. But it doesn't, like, the undercards are all fantastic fights, I thought, by my account, or at least they were more interesting to watch. Whereas the main event all of a sudden becomes like that's it. Like,
and then like the thing is like,
you would have had more interest if you would have been able to convince Holly Holm to fight Ronda Rousey more than anything. And nothing against Gina Carano, but again, over 10 years removed from fighting MMA.
And it's gonna sound hypocritical because like Conor beating Jose in 10 seconds is like one of my favorite moments ever in UFC history.
We've talked about that before, yeah.
But the thing is though, is like, it's Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano. This is not like a giant matchup. Like,
no.
Jose and Conor was talked about for years.
Yes.
And like 2 years. And they had a canceled fight. It was waited upon.
Yeah, the buildup was there. The tension.
Gina Carano, let's be honest.
Yeah, whose last known thing was
was an actress.
Yeah, she was acting in some cowboy movie on one of those right-wing networks that nobody ever watched, and it only made like $300 or something like that.
This was not like this was not like a bloodbath fight. And look, is it interesting to see really quick fights like that? Yeah, but it's not impressive against someone who hasn't fought in years.
No, unfortunately, that it was. As much as Jake Paul wants to promote this as like a success, this was
I thought it was a failure.
It was a drastic failure of his promotion on the MMA level. And stop saying you want to fight MMA, dude.
I actually stayed up to watch it, and I was like, I'm actually like really disappointed that I did this because this was really bad.
Yeah,
this was a bad watch.
I did the smart thing for me, at least. I said I'm not going to watch it. I'll watch the replay though, see how it went. I watched the replay, and again, undercards, really good matches. Really good matches,
and then randomly
regardless.
they had a boxing match. I don't know if you saw it.
That was an odd one.
That was really weird.
That threw me off, but I was like, okay. But then, the main event, I'm just going like, well, I didn't really even care about it when it was announced, but let's see how it goes. And then, 14 seconds later, I'm like, well, thank God I didn't have to deal with this or pay for it.
I hope Mike Perry actually gets signed somewhere because he's actually a decent fighter. He's been at BKFC for a while. He made Nate Diaz poop his pants in there. So.
Yeah, he did. in fairness, watching Nate Diaz take some of those hits and still stand there.
Nate Diaz,
He's
Nate
a
Diaz
warrior.
gets scratched by someone's fingernail, and the amount of blood that comes out is crazy.
He's such. I give he's not my favorite fighter, but I give him a lot of props. The dude is a warrior to stand in there and just take ones to the noggin and just not go down.
Bro leaks blood.
Yeah, I mean he's full of it for sure. In so many ways.
And obviously, NHL playoffs are going on. It's been great. Avalanche absolutely completely blew it. Hopefully, the Hurricanes wrap it up tonight, but rest in peace, Claude Lemieux.
I still thought the Avalanche were going to take it. Yeah. I was like, they're the best team in hockey. Come on. They got the best player. Nathan McKinnon's on a mission. He wants this.
Right. But yeah, rest in peace, Claude Lemieux. That was crazy. Just saw him the other day in Game 3. Brought out the torch for Montreal, and just crazy. A couple days later, it's crazy.
That is a sad loss for the hockey world and the sports world as well too. One of the, I consider him one of the all-time greats of hockey for sure.
I would say just all-time greats of the playoffs. He came through in the playoffs.
Yeah,
he was a tough player. You know, he wasn't like a.
Oh, that Devils run in '95.
He was more of a tough guy, but man, you put him in the playoffs, and he was a performer.
95, 13 goals in 20 games. That's, I mean, how many guys do you find that are able to do that?
Yeah, right.
Like that is that. Do you want to talk about clutch? That is clutch through and through.
Yep.
That's all I got. You got anything else, Scotty?
We're all good.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for our show. Thank you all so much for listening. Thank you all so much for watching. So, real quick, though, before we get out of here, we just want to give you guys an update. So, because of some scheduling conflicts that obviously we've had in the past, it's been a little bit difficult for us to do the show here and there. I'm sure you've all noticed. Some of you guys have commented, and I appreciate you guys for sticking with us as you do. You guys are amazing fans. We love you, and we appreciate you. With that being said, for the foreseeable future, for the time being right now, more than likely live shows will be kind of concluding. Now, this doesn't mean that the show is coming to a close. It basically means we are going to start shifting to a online platform where we are going to record the shows at home so that our schedules fit much better. And then we will post the show afterwards in order to still give you guys content and be more consistent with said content. Yes, it's because we've wanted to do more shows. We've wanted to do kind of outside podcasts, but it's been very hard to because not everybody can always be here. We can't always talk about all the things we want to. We don't always have the time. Obviously, there's stretches where we're at work for certain things. Life happens. We all understand that. And you guys have been very understanding of that too. And again, I appreciate you guys for being a part of that. So it's a way for us to still be able to provide you with the content and be able to give you guys the stuff that you like, talk about the things, and hopefully be able to stretch out some more of the topics so we don't have to try and cram everything into one show to try and recap what happened over a 3 weeks period. We can actually kind of divulge things out in a more either shorter videos of 30 minutes or give an hour on certain topics to kind of expand on them and then save things for like the next show that week that we want to talk about and, you know, have follow-ups on stuff or whatever the case may be. So this is something that we've kind of talked about a little bit in the background here and there. We really had a big discussion about that, especially today, and it's probably going to be the thing that we go forward with. So we appreciate you guys for being a part of it when we've gone live and even watching afterwards. It means the world to us that you guys would be a part of our fan bases and our family and all that stuff. You guys have meant the world to us again for everything that you've done. But we hope you guys understand that moving into this this area of our platform means that we can bring you more content, better content as well too, and hopefully be able to kind of grow the audience more even so, and hopefully you guys can interact a little bit more so we can be more current and on topic with things instead of having to try and sift back through your emails and talk about things or try to find what's relevant and then try to find like, well, what did we miss? So this way we can kind of stay more informed. So I hope you guys understand that. I usually guys do because, again, you guys are fantastic fans. We love you. Appreciate you. Real quick, if you guys want to follow us anymore, I didn't even see if you popped them up there. Find me on all the social media stuff. I'm at The Fluffy Guru on Twitter. I'm also at Boom Crew Captain on Instagram. Follow us on all the socials as well at XBomb Sports on all, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. TikTok, we're trying to get back to as well because Frankie is obviously very busy with Ultimate Autographs, which, by the way, go check him out on there. He's doing a great job over there. Shout out to you, Frankie, if you're being able to catch this, man. You're doing fantastic over there. hopefully we're going to try and get those TikToks back. Maybe not Frankie doing it, but somebody will be helping us out, or I'm going to just try and get them done myself potentially. But also, too, any other ways you want to be able to ask us questions or comments, of course, you can always hit us up at xbsportsofficial@gmail.com. We love to hear from you guys for any questions or comments or things like that along the way. And I think with that as well, too, guys, also make sure to check out Bad Karma Wrestling. It's our boys, No Game Mr. Johnson and David Double D Dykstra, talking everything wrestling, AEW and WWE specifically. By the way, AEW killed it on Double or Nothing, just to kind of give the little bit of shout out to the wrestling world. WWE, you're trying. D plus D for effort, I guess, is the best I can do. But you know what the sad thing is that you're probably right. Oh God. But AEW is doing a fantastic job. 15 out of 10 on that pay-per-view, man. Holy cow, that was incredible. But yeah, definitely go check those guys out as well. And even though we're not going Friday, because today, Blow the Whistle guys, check us out every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. When we can go, we're going live. We're doing all the same sports talk that we do right here on X-Bomb, and then some, expanding on different things, answering questions, comments, things like that, having some fun, all the good stuff. And we will have more of your kind of out-of-the-box fun questions on here, I promise you, especially, again, now moving into this new kind of wave of doing the shows, we'll be able to answer more of those questions as well. So you can ask more of your crazy questions, like, what would you build out of cotton candy? That was from you, John, from Manhattan, from New York City of Manhattan.
Is cotton candy even like you're able to? I mean,
apparently, because he sent me a TikTok of some guy on TikTok who builds these wacky, crazy things out of cotton candy, like these full-size teddy bear things. He's like Japanese, I think, that makes these with crazy.
Mattress, to be honest.
I don't know, but I'm watching.
But then if I'm like, if you like, wet the bed, or it's just all like dissolves underneath you?
I don't know. He asked me, I think he just wanted to send me a question with a TikTok that now I can't get rid of because I'm watching this guy make things on cotton candy and I can't stop. It's almost on the same level as somebody sending me a bunch of video. Do not send me a single more video of that boat. I finally got it off my feed.
Hey, it's Friday. You're getting one.
I don't want one. I don't. I want to rise that boat back from the wrecks and then sink it again at this point. My goodness. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for listening. Thank you all so much for watching. We will see you guys. We will keep you guys updated for next week. We're going to try and get everything kind of sorted out. Try and plan for, I guess, Friday to be the show time. But we will keep you guys updated on that. We love you guys. We appreciate you. Thank you all so much for listening. Thank you all so much for watching again. We'll see you all next time. As always, much love. Peace out, Boom Crew.